Hi guys, how are you doing today? So I'm just gonna basically take the dog for a walk and we're gonna have a little bit of conversation about just life. Let me get this damn thing open. I go for a walk? I go for a walk, of course you do. Of course you do. You always wanna go for a walk. I forgot to grab my water. So yeah, I just been taking a really hard look at all the failures that I've had in life. And I've just kind of decided, you know what? It's done. Because I look at other people on YouTube, and there's just a lot of people on YouTube and places just all over who they think that their life is going to get better, and they're over 40. And the truth of it is that your teen years and your 20s really set you up for the life you're going to have when you get older. And if you don't hit those extremely important moments, if you don't have some wins of some kind, when you're teens and 20s, you think you're just fooling yourself. And, people will say, well, 30, if you don't have it figured out by 30, you're kind of a failure. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not. When I was 30, I tried going to college, and I failed at signing basically a debt that I would never be able to repay. And, it's like, the thing of it is most people signing basically a debt that I would never be able to repay, who are competent and successful, they've got it figured out by the time they're 21. They've got it figured out by the time they've got it fucking figured out by the time they're 30. You don't have it figured out by the time you're 30, you're done. There's no hope for you. Because I look at the people who are successful, and it's like, by the time they're 30, at the latest 30, most people have this figured out by the time they're 25. They already know that there's no such thing as God. They already know religion is bullshit. They already know that the government is wonderful and should be obeyed. They already know everything. And, it's just this attitude of, well, if you're dumb enough to fall for a scam, you deserve to be scammed. And society kind of agrees. So how do I know society agrees? Well, I see it through their actions. Because the people who are successful, they instinctually understand it. They instinctually understand all these different things that I didn't. Everybody else has it all figured out. I'm the only one who doesn't. And that's the reality of it. Everybody else has it figured out. I'm the one who's ignorant. I'm the one who's ignorant. I'm the one who's wrong. I'm the one who's bad. I'm the one who has no credibility. And people know this about me just by looking at me. Because, the people with character, they're good looking. And, people of good character, intelligence, etc., they're good looking. I'm not good looking. People know that I'm a horrible human being because of the way I look. and then they hear that I haven't succeeded at anything, you know, by 40, it's like, why are you fucking even in the game? You're not even in the game. And it's like, I'd like to be in the game. I've always been trying to play the game, be in the game. I've always thought that, you know, I've had intelligent things to say, and I mean, the truth of it is I don't. Because if I did, other people would have agreed that I have something worth saying. And I don't. And they know this because of how I look. They know this because of just a variety of factors. You know, because you're supposed to have everything instinctually. All of it is instinctual. All of it is instinctual. Because we live in an atheistic, materialistic universe where there is no meaning, nothing matters, etc. And if you don't already understand that, by the time you're in your mid-20s, you're kind of automatically a failure in life. You know, and I sit there and I make these fucking, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write a book. I'm not gonna write a book. I'm not gonna write a script. I'm not gonna do anything. Because, you know, people have rightfully labeled me all the horrible things that I never wanted to be, but, you know, that's how it is. So I'm just basically giving up, you know, that this is my life. This is my life now. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother trying to get a job. I'm not gonna bother doing much of anything. I don't want to be one of these fucktards like Von Helton or Camper Van Elvis or Network 126 or any of these people who, you know, their life is over. They're never going to make anything with themselves, and they're too stupid to understand that because, you know, it's like when I killed my YouTube career with my first video, because I was trying to say that anybody can be a Christ, which was, and I explained it in the video, you know, anybody can be a Buddha, you know, and it just takes yada, yada, yada. And, you know, the atheists shut me down pretty fucking hard and quick. And, you know, I'm paying for it for the rest of my life because what I said was so insufferably stupid that, you know, I need to be ridiculed. I have water all over here to step through this shit. Because, you know, I mean, the 20-something atheist knows more about life than I ever will. And these people are very dedicated in making sure that I understand this. And it's just like, you know what? Fine, I give up. I give up. You know, I used to think that I was capable of something. I was just like, you know, I'm capable of something. I just have to find that thing that I'm good at. I have to find that thing that I'm capable of, you know? I thought I was good at religious studies. Well, religious studies doesn't matter because we live in an atheistic, materialist universe. So I wasted, you know, I mean, I thought I was an actor. I'm not an actor because other people tell me I'm not an actor. I thought I'd be good at comedy. I'm not because everybody keeps telling me that I'm not funny. But, yeah, that's just how it is. I thought I could do. I thought I. It's like with the the few times that I've actually tried to like converse with like women on YouTube or whatever, talk about different females. I mean, I didn't get it that the idea of me with, a woman actually choosing me was just so fucking laughable, so fucking absurd. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And, people preyed upon my delusion because they were like, oh, wow, can you believe this guy? He actually thinks he's going to get a girlfriend. Oh, my God. That's ridiculous. And, because I mean, who am I to sit there and say what I'm good at? Who am I to sit there and say anything? I mean, it's just like that, but I'm done trying. I'm done trying. And because I have so many critics on YouTube, I have so many people on the internet screaming at the top of their lungs repetitively about how I'm a schizophrenic, a drunk, a bum, a sexist, a racist, or whatever, and they're broadcasting this. They're broadcasting this to anybody and everybody who will listen. And, other people always know, this is the atheist paradise where, everybody else always knows you better than you know yourself. To the point where you can sit there and you can say, somebody asks you, what's your favorite food? And I say chocolate. Well, how do I know that? I can't know that. So I have, the shadowy figures behind the YouTube screen, behind the computer screen, who I've never met in my life. All of them know way more about me than I know about myself. So I'm just giving up. I read all these books on philosophy and psychology, or did I? I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my YouTube trolls. But it's like, I'm 40. It's like, I have no accomplishments. I have nothing. And I look at these people like Von Helton or just any number of them, and it's like, all I'm seeing, all I'm watching is how they actually think that there's a chance, a glimmer of hope, that they're going to be more than what they are. And it's not going to happen for them. I mean, even Von Helton could get a fucking girlfriend. I mean, jeez. I mean, I am so fucking worthless, And it's just like, it's time for me to accept it. Because I mean, I'm inherently delusional. I mean, with that real estate thing, I actually thought that I might be good at something. Wow. I should have realized that I'm not capable of it. But I didn't, because I'm delusional, I'm retarded, I'm all these things that the people online say I am. And they promote me as that. So it's just, I'm just going to give up. Because it's like, nobody's going to sit there and have any kind of empathy or compassion for me. And I don't deserve it. I mean, if you haven't, compassion and empathy, those are things for beautiful people. Those are things for young, beautiful people, successful people, because they deserve it. If you're a middle-aged old man who's broke and alone, you don't deserve empathy. You don't deserve empathy because it's your fault and it's what you deserve. You know, the society has spoken. Society has spoken. It's said amongst the, they said amongst themselves, can you believe this fucking retard? He actually bought our bullshit. He actually thought, because, even as a child, you're supposed to sit there and look at what everybody says around you and instinctually know that it's a lie, that things are lies. You're supposed to have it all figured out. And if you don't, you're a failure. You just are. It's not going to fucking work out for you in life. If you're dumb enough to believe that, there's a God, if you're dumb enough to believe that empathy and truth and justice and ethics have any place in life, then you're just delusional. And you should be taken advantage of. And this is what people have been screaming at me for fucking decades. I'm a fucking lost cow because people are sitting there looking at me being like, can you actually believe that he believed our lies? I was gullible and naive enough to believe that I could actually make a positive difference in the world. I actually thought life had meaning, and it doesn't. It's just one long atheistic tragedy. Pointless, unnecessary. This is what all my atheist viewers have showed me, have taught me. Their promotion of me as anything and everything horrible. And it's just like, why bother? When you get atheists and Christians teaming up to utterly and absolutely destroy you, to push you out of society, because it's truth by consensus, right? The group is always, and this is another atheist maxim. Axiom? I don't even know what I'm talking about because I'm a fucking Corky. I'm not even a human being. I'm not even a human being to these people. I'm not. And when I say I'm not even a human being, I don't mean like, oh, I'm some, demigod or some, no. I'm subhuman. I'm just a subhuman nothing because I'm in my 40s and I live in an RV. And all the lies and rumors about me online by anonymous people are more credible and believable than anything I have to say. My life has been written by people who seem to have unlimited power over my life. I don't even have power over my own. I'm just giving up. I'm just done. I don't even think I don't know if I want to even be on YouTube very much anymore, because what's the point? What's the point? It's not like I'm engaging with anybody, for any real debate. People want to watch me make videos because it's like it's like, because seeing me talk on a video, it's like watching a monkey make noises, you know? Like, oh, it's trying to talk. It's funny because it's trying to talk. But anything and everything I say has no relevance or meaning. Because everybody else, the only things that I say, everybody else already knows everything. And yeah, there's a few ignorant people. There's a few people who, don't know jack shit and who should be censored. I mean, you get so many people online who say things that are just wrong. And if you look at the atheist, communist, nihilist standard, which is the truth, you realize that these people should be shut down. These people should be censored. These people should be silenced. It's like, okay, stupid, you do have, we'll give you the right to free speech, but, the only place you're going to be allowed free speech is, in the privacy of your own fucking little echo chamber where no one's going to have to be assaulted by the stupidity of your ideas. I mean, I have nothing to say. I don't. And how do I know this? Because other people tell me, they're like, shut up, Corky, you don't have anything to say. Okay. And on occasion, when I do say something that's, correct, like I'll say 2 + 2 is 4, right? I'll just use that as an example. See, I think I'm saying something that's obvious, but in reality, I'm just stealing somebody else's idea. And I'm also denigrating that idea. So if I sit there and I say 2 + 2 is 4, who the fuck am I to say that? Who the fuck am I to denigrate the credibility of that concept by letting it pass through my lips? I'm a fucking, again, the atheist model. I'm a subhuman piece of utter absolute shit. And I'm 40. I mean, maybe if I was like in my mid-20s, there'd be some hope. There'd be some possibility. Walking through mud right now. Big old mud spot right there. But yeah, I mean, if your life isn't absolutely fucking perfect by the time you're 30, and the only reason it can be is because you've got it all figured out, you're just done. You're absolutely fucking done. And it's like, I'm isolated. I mean, people have been saying it for years. They've been screaming it for years. I need to be shut down. I need to be censored. I need to be locked up in a mental institution or a prison. And, because who the fuck am I to have an opinion on anything? And yeah, I mean, I've had IQ tests, but that's one thing I'm struggling with. It's like, wait a minute, okay, all these people are saying, all these bureaucrats in the government, who we know never lie, who we know never do anything wrong, who we know are super credible people, tell me that I have a 110 IQ, and it's like, no. If I had a 110 IQ, I'd be able to find a job, I'd have a car, I would have made something at this of myself at this point, and it's just like, you know, because I mean, if you're intelligent, we know intelligence by looking at how somebody looks. If somebody is good looking, we automatically know that they're highly intelligent. This is obvious. It's again, it's an atheist axiom. We know this, you know. And the thing of it is you'd say, well, you know, these ideas that we say, like for example, we sit there and say, well, there are ugly people who are intelligent. Well, is that real, or is that just, you know, or is that a meme? Is it a group of people sitting there saying, let's come up with the dumbest idea possible and circulate it and see how many idiots actually believe it? Because that's how you tell people apart. Is you sit there and you look at who's gonna be dumb enough to believe this shit. So like an atheist came up with Christianity or Islam or Judaism, and they're gonna promote it, but their only purpose is, okay, well, I want to see how many people are actually dumb enough to believe this shit, and if they actually believe it, well, then they deserve to suffer. They deserve to, you know, lose their money, maybe even lose their lives, etc. You know, because, you know, it's all about power. It's all about power, and the powerless, you know, should be crushed, because, you know, in the atheist universe that we live in, where nothing matters, you know, there really is nothing to, I mean, there's no meaning, there's no point. So, I mean, if I sit around all day, if I sit around all day and watch TV and don't do anything, you know, what does it matter? I sure as hell don't matter. How do I know I don't matter? Well, again, no car, no job, no life. You know, and the thing of it is, you know, it's like I have people promoting me as every horrible thing under the sun, but then at the same time, they have no moral agency. See, it's moral agency for me to be used as a weapon against me, but everybody else, they have no moral agency. There's no standards for them. So, like, if they destroy my reputation, they have nothing to do with it. You know, if they call up businesses, or they call up, you know, fucking Toastmasters or a theater company that I'm a part of, and they say, well, Nick is he's a sexist and a racist and a blah blah blah. It's not it's not their you know, it's not their fault. They're acting as forces of nature. They're acting as forces of nature. And this being forces of nature, they bear no responsibility, because they're just doing what they do. They have no moral responsibility. I'm the only one with moral responsibility, but then again, there are no such things as morals or ethics. It's just, you know, what can we do to hurt someone to get at? And, you know, and those types, you know, they call them, again, it's like, you know, the atheist universe, use whatever labels you can possibly use to get ahead. And that's what they do. Somebody, you know, because it's like, nobody with any credibility actually believes in anything. You know, it's just whatever tool you can use to gain power. And this is the atheist mindset, the nihilist mindset. It's okay to destroy someone's life for the lulz. Why? Just magically is. You know, it's atheist magic. And I call it atheist magic because I'm too stupid to understand it. This is, again, it goes back to me not having any fucking clue as to what's going on. Me not having any fucking capability. You know, and I'm you know, I guess I'm delusional. I mean, I thought that I'd be a good real estate person. I thought, oh, I was told, oh, this will be the first deal of many. I didn't realize that I was being laughed at all the way. You know, I mean, it's like I tried to be an actor, and it was like everybody around me was like laughing their ass off, being like, can you believe this guy? He actually thinks he can be an actor? Can you believe this guy? He actually thinks he's going to be a comedian. Can you believe this fucking retard? He actually thinks he can be a screenwriter or a writer of any kind. Can you believe this fucking retard? He thinks that he, you know, is capable of anything worth doing. Can you believe this idiot? He's looking for meaning, and we already know in this nihilistic universe that there is no such thing as meaning. It's just, you know, predator on prey, hedonistic, nihilistic, just do whatever the fuck you feel like and hurt as many people as you can, and, you know, if you don't suffer the consequences, then it's okay to hurt this person because that's what matters, is whether or not you suffer consequences and blah, blah, blah. No morals or ethics, just avoiding, you know, seeing how much pleasure you can get and seeing how much pain and suffering you can avoid, because that's what matters in an atheistic, nihilistic universe. And I certainly don't have, you know, and I sit there and I'm measuring myself against successful people. I'm measuring myself against people like Styx Hexenhammer or Jordan Peterson or, you know, other people within different, you know, genres, different, you know, different writers, different actors, different comedians, different whatever. And I'm like comparing myself to that and being like, you know, I think if I just did, you know, maybe I'd be able to like, but see, the thing of it is like in the atheistic universe, you're told your status, you're told your you know, your station in life. And this has been a big issue with a lot of my fanboys and followers, is they want me to make sure that I know my station. You know, who the fuck am I to try to be like Jesus? Who the fuck am I to be like Joe Rogan? Who the fuck am I to be like Styx Hexenhammer? Who the fuck am I to be like any of the, you know, what we consider gods, right? Let's just use that term. We know that there is no God, but let's just use that term for somebody highly successful who has credibility and broke, having nothing, having nobody. No, Dialectic Chaos, I have not read that fucking forum in a couple months, actually. I haven't even bothered with it. But see, they're not doing anything wrong. It's perfectly acceptable for people to ridicule and slander certain people. Because, you know, I'm some kind of retarded to sit there and think that I have any possibility of becoming anything other than I already am. You know, and I mean the thing of it is, it's like, back in the Middle Ages, if somebody tried to um, grow past their station, they could basically be killed, right? The king's men could basically take him out into a field and fucking beat them to death. It's like, hey, you motherfucker, know your station. Who the fuck are you to have an idea? Who the fuck are you to try to create something that could be considered art? Who the fuck are you? Life is brutal and short, and that's your fucking station. Who the fuck are you to dream? Who the fuck are you to think anything higher? And of course, we know in the atheist universe, in the nihilistic atheist universe, you know, beautiful people are capable of rising above their station, but that's because they have inherent qualities expressed outwardly, right? Like beautiful people are you know, I can't see their, because see, the thing of it is there is no good or evil, but a lot of it's about power. And we know that certain characteristics are clumped in together. So like if you have a beautiful voice, we know that you have something worth saying. If you're good looking, we know you're a person of character and credibility. If you're ugly, you don't. You need to stay in your station, stay in your place, and not fucking do anything. You know? And that's just how it is from a magical atheist perspective. And I call it magical because I don't understand it, and I'm not capable of understanding it. It's like for me to understand the atheistic universe, reality, as portrayed by so many of my followers and my critics, for me to understand it is like a fucking insect trying to understand a god if a god actually existed, which it doesn't. Because I was dumb enough as a child, I was dumb enough to buy the lie, I was dumb enough to think things actually mattered. And people should be ridiculed for being ignorant or having incorrect ideas, you know, because this is the world we're living in now. And, I sure as hell can't change it. I'm stuck in this universe where there is no God, there is no meaning, there is no purpose. There's just nothing. This is the only life you're going to get. And it's a game for higher beings, we'll call them, to basically see if they can destroy somebody else's life. Because then you're making their one shot at life an absolute living fucking hell. And that's perfectly okay according to the atheist nihilist model, which the world is following. It's absolutely fucking okay. I'm not walking in the cornfield because it's muddy and I don't want to I've already got enough mud on my feet. Damn it. Sorry about that. It's just... I used to think that I could actually be somebody, that I could actually be something, and it's just, it's only about that tall. It's just, what the fuck am I gonna say that hasn't been said before by more credible people? Again, goes back to credibility. If a bum, and there's two reactions to it. There's two reactions to it. I think he's missed the first part of the growing season in Michigan. I'm pretty sure it's because Sticks, Hex, and Hammer lives in fucking Vermont. No, you can't go for more walking because you haven't been. This dumbass dog gets overheated, doesn't want to drink water, and then whines when I don't want to walk him anymore because I've been told he's an old, fat, hairy dog. Don't make him exercise too much because he'll get sick. So, yeah. Just like a fat person who, you tell them, maybe you shouldn't eat that third Walmart pie. Gets angry and pissy because, but, yeah, it's just, I'm giving up. It's like the bum says 2 plus 2 is 4, or 2 plus 2 equals 4. You know that's false, because there's a couple of options there. Number one, they're trying, well, it could be both actually. They're trying to deceive you, and they're trying to throw shade of some kind on the concept. They're trying to ridicule the concept. They're trying to cast doubt on 2 plus 2 is 4. So because what they want is they want you to have to because you're like, wait a minute, if a bum says 2 plus 2 is 4, then maybe it's not 2 plus 2 is 4, maybe it's something else. Because we know the only people who have a good understanding of anything scientific or the real world or anything else are nihilistic atheists, and all nihilistic atheists are incredibly good-looking, incredibly wealthy, incredibly intelligent, and all these things go together. There's no such thing as an intelligent person who's ugly or broke. Those kinds of people don't fucking matter. They don't matter. So yeah, I'm just done. I'm just gonna sit there and watch TV all the rest of my life. I'm in my 40s. I mean, I had my chance. Life. I mean, there's never been anybody in the history of the world, according to the atheistic nihilist, who has ever achieved anything after 40, because, we all know that that's impossible. And we all know that, people have stations in life. And as to whether it's predetermined or not, well, that's a nihilistic atheist question that we have to ask them, because it's too high-minded for me to know, because that's not my station. My station in life is to just sit in front of a TV for the rest of my fucking life, and work in a fucking factory or some shit. It's not to actually find meaning and help people or do something worth doing to make my society and my world a better place, because nihilistic atheists forbid that I actually have something to say. And obviously I don't, because I'm ugly, I'm broke, etc. So yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just done having dreams. I'm just done having dreams. because, you know, the hostility that I receive online. I mean, see, that's the thing. You know, my haters, my trolls, my followers and fans have been screaming at the top of their lungs, most of them, for a very long time. Get the fuck off the internet. Get the fuck off YouTube. You have nothing to say. You're blah, 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 right? You know, because I mean, because here's the thing. When I made that video, that first video that I ever put on YouTube, the one that killed my YouTube career, where I said the word Jesus Christ, you know, the word Christ is a title, means anointed one. Which, you know, you can say the same thing about Lucifer. It means light bringer. Satan means adversary. See, in the atheist mindset, the nihilistic atheist mindset, none of that even matters, because we should be able to say God does not exist and just throw religion out the window. Throw religion out the window completely. You know? So when I sat there and I said, you know, Christ means anointed one, therefore anybody can become a Christ. And if you read something like the Essenes or the Gnostics, you know, the history of people with those groups, you know, people like that, the more obscure things were like, oh yeah, Jesus went and, you know, lived with, I forget what the word is, but he basically, just the thing of it was Jesus was not this like low-class little person born in a manger. What it was Jesus, you know, Mary was actually a member of the Egyptian royal family. Joseph was a Jew. Jesus was, you know, Jesus had uncles who were traders, who would walk the trade routes from, like, you know, even all the way up into Europe and even all the way into India. So basically Jesus' childhood was, you know, him living in India, studying with, you know, the various gurus and types of people. So you could sit there and you could say, well, you know, Jesus was just another type of Buddha, right? And even then you can look at the archetypes, and even if you don't want to believe in any literal interpretation of it, you can sit there and say that it has meaning. But of course we know from the atheistic, nihilistic atheists who continually, you know, promote me as a schizophrenic, a bum, a dumbass, a racist, a sexist. You know, these people keep promoting me as this, and for some reason are believed, you know? Because after all, who's more believable? The individual telling you the truth out of his mouth, person to person, appearing on camera, or some anonymous comment from, you know, some person who's clearly got a hateful attitude? Well, obviously the anonymous commenter. Yes, the anonymous commenter knows more about somebody than the actual person themselves, yes. No, don't listen to what Nick is saying. I'll tell you what Nick means. I'll tell you what Nick said. Because the atheist nihilist is magically an expert on my life. Magically, it's all magic. It's atheist magic. Nihilist atheist magic. So yeah, it's just... So yeah, I had said, you know, anybody can be a Christ. So it's something to strive for, right? Something to strive for. Here's an archetype to strive for. And I mean, it's no different than somebody sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, Michael Jordan, the best basketball player ever. I want to be just like him." Yada yada yada, or somebody saying, this or that rock musician is like the best person ever. I want to be just like him, and I'm gonna do what I can to use that archetype or that person as an inspiration to become better. Because, see, that would imply that there's meaning in life. And we know from all the atheist nihilists that there is no such thing as meaning. That this is the only life you're going to have. And the purpose of this life is just to be as much of a hedonistic, psychotic piece of shit as you possibly can. And because improving your own life is way too difficult, that was a dream or something. I don't even remember the whole video. But when I made that, I was coming out of a highly fundamentalist Christian upbringing, where I spent my early 20s thinking that I was going to burn in hell. Which I was dumb enough to believe it, so, I deserve to be hated on. And I mean, it's one thing if somebody says, and I mean, again, it goes back to someone's station in life. If you've got, you look at people. Let's see if I can cross this fucking mud without getting my feet all wet. Nope. Fucking mud. Anyway. It's like, it's the nihilistic atheist who's going to tell you what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. And I've had a lot of people throughout my life screaming at the top of their lungs, telling me what I'm not capable of. I'm not capable of being an actor. I'm not capable of being a writer. I'm not capable of being anything whatsoever worthwhile. I need to, be a day laborer or something, because that's all I'm capable of, despite the fact that I can't even fucking lift 40 fucking pounds without fucking practically having a goddamn heart attack. Having a bad back and being really out of shape. Oh no, that's okay, because the nihilistic atheists have declared this is your station in life. This is what you're going to do. It goes back to the communist idea, right? Your father was a shoemaker, and his father before him, and his father before that. So you're a shoemaker, and despite the fact that you suck at making shoes, well, we're just going to punish you for being bad at making shoes, instead of saying, maybe we should not make him be a shoemaker. Maybe he can be something else. But that would be too difficult, because then you'd have to look at people as individuals, not cogs in a machine. And we know that most groups, you want to look at people like they're a cog in a machine, so you can, have your fucking social engineering, right? I mean, if we just magically put all these Muslim immigrants with an IQ of 75 who can't fucking do basic anything regarding civilization, if we pump them all into fucking Europe, then magically they'll become Europeans and add to the tax base. Oh, but by the way, we're also going to tell these Europeans, who have this idea of individuality, we're going to tell them, stop having kids. But, it's the atheistic, nihilistic, globalist model. It's what they believe, it's what they want, it's what they demand, it's what they desire, okay. You know, so I'm just gonna. I've been told repeatedly over and over and over that my station, you know, anything and everything is just it's all just too mysterious, and it's just every I'm not an intellectual, I'm not a thinker, I don't know anything about anything, and therefore you know I'm just gonna I'm just out of the game. I'll sit on the sidelines. I've been trying for fucking 40 years to get into the game, screaming, let me on the field, let me on the field. I know I can win. I know I can run some good plays. I know that I can get us some touchdowns. I know I can. Nope, fuck you. Fuck you, Corky, you're on the sidelines. Why? Because mysterious people from the internet or mysterious people from whatever. It's just amazing how much hostility I've gotten in my life. I mean, that's one reason why I was so eager to be on YouTube. I thought, oh, if I get on YouTube, I'll find people who are like me, who are accepting, who want to have intelligent discussion, blah, 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 blah. Nope, sorry, fuck you. Got more hostility. More hostility. And I mean, it's like if the world if the world treats you with a level of hostility that you cannot fathom, that you cannot understand. I mean, it just shows you that you're not right for the world. Because under the atheist nihilist model, it's okay for people to destroy other people's lives and just be absolutely hateful. And I get it. A lot of that is how I look. A lot of that is how I sound. Because, people who have any kind of value whatsoever are automatically good looking and automatically have beautiful voices. They're automatically wealthy. They're just, all these things. The universe smiles on them, so to speak. But of course, that, I see, and that shows my ignorance of the nature of reality, because the atheist nihilist is going to go, the universe can't smile. The universe is made up of, blah, 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 and use a bunch of science terms. Because I'm just wrong about everything. I mean, if I say 2 + 2 is 4, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I need to be fucking slapped across the fucking face and told, shut the fuck up about 2 + 2 is 4, because you have no right for that fucking, for that concept to come out of your mouth. Who are you to look into the eyes of another person? Who are you to make eye contact? Who are you to fucking say anything? Who are you to say anything about anything? Because, the atheist universe, no, because I'm just basically saying I give up. I give up. This is my life now, just basically sitting in an RV in the middle of fucking Nebraska, doing nothing. I'm just gonna fucking keep being a parasite on the government, stealing people's taxpayer money, and just sit there and watch TV for the rest of my fucking life, because I obviously have nothing to offer anybody. I don't get anything right. On rare occasion, I mean, a broken clock is correct twice a day, right? I'm not even at that level. But 2 + 2 is 4. Where did I get that idea? Well, I heard it from somebody else, which means that I'm plagiarizing somebody else's idea. Because you're supposed to come up according to the atheist nihilist model. which, you know, the vast majority of my my critics have. You know, that I stepped in a gopher hole. God damn, that's a deep one. Jesus fucking Christ, I gotta fucking gopher holes. Fucking gophers, now I gotta fucking shower or something. Goddamn gophers. But see, that's me. That's my life. I'm even too incompetent to fucking walk and talk at the same time. Oh, you're looking for something interesting? Really? You want something interesting? Yeah. I don't think anything interesting is going to happen in this environment. So no, nothing interesting is going to happen in this environment. So you're out of luck. You're really fucking out of luck. I'm not even sure how to turn this off when I end it because it's a different phone. Yeah, I have to come to terms with the fact that I am completely ignorant of everything and anything. You know? Because you're supposed to instinctually know everything. That's the atheist nihilist wet dream. You're just supposed to, you know, everybody else is just, you know, a cog in a wheel. You know, it's like these people sit there and they want their communism, they want their nationalism, they want their authoritarianism. And the really disturbing part, the part that just fucking cracks me up, is you get all these fucking idiots. They're sitting there thinking, right? They want their communism, they want their fucking fascism. And you get people of two groups. Either they're going to say that they would be the generals and the noblemen and the leaders of the great society. Or they're going to say, oh, I would be fighting against the evil communists or the evil Nazis. No. Every goddamn one of you watching this right now, you'd either be herded into concentration camps or you'd be a fucking prison guard or some grunt. Fucking, I mean, that's the thing. You know, people want to hold on to their fucking, you know, claim of ethics so they can virtue signal. You know, it's like they sit there and they say, oh, I want to belong to that tribe, so I'm going to virtue signal. Most people don't think. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to reason. They don't know how to do anything. They feel, they're like, my feelings give me the authority over your life. You know? I mean, look at things like nonviolent crimes. Somebody gets put into a fucking prison for an ounce of weed or something. You know, that's a cliched example, but yet it's true and it's common. But wait, I thought my body was my property. I thought my body, my property, my choice. Nope, sorry. It's about power. Somebody has the power to tell you that you don't get to fucking speak. Somebody has the power to tell you what to do with your life. Somebody has power over you. It's all about power. This is what the nihilistic atheist understands, and the rest of us don't. You know, I mean, here I thought I was smart enough to actually make the world a better place, and all I've done is destroy my own fucking life. Oh, and of course, nobody else had anything to do with it at all. Or so they'll claim. Right? Because, I mean, if somebody blows up your car, you know, so you can't get to work. Well, it's not their fault. It's yours. Because you shouldn't have had your car somewhere, you know, where they could do that to your car. You know, it's always the victim's fault. It's always the victim's fault because, you know, if you're dumb enough to be a victim, well then you deserve to be a victim. And this is how, you know, sociopaths and nihilistic atheists, this is how it is. People sit there and they wonder why, you know, the atheists wonder why doesn't anybody want to hear about atheism? Well, it's because there's way too many taking joy in the destruction of other people's lives. You know, they don't even want to have a conversation about the ideas. And you see this with leftists and Muslims, and you see this with every people in every religion or political belief system or whatever. Atheism is a non-belief. Okay, whatever. But you see this with any belief system where they don't want to discuss anything. They just want to shout it down because feelings. Because they're feelings. They're fucking feelings. Fucking feelings. Are sacred things that must be followed. But, you know, your feelings, especially if you're a middle-aged white man, well, your feelings don't fucking matter. And who the fuck are you to even consideration? Because fuck you, you privileged SOB. But wait, I'm ugly, I'm broke, I'm unemployed, I have no job, I'm living in a shitty situation like an RV or maybe even homeless. Aren't I deserving of empathy? Aren't I deserving of consideration? No, because reasons. Fuck you. See, this is a prison mentality. That's a prison mentality. Somebody in your group did something we don't like way back when, so we're going to punish you as a way of punishing them, which, you know, to the atheist nihilist, there is no such thing as individuality. There is no such thing as individuality. You know, because, you know, if you're part of a group and one of the members of that group really likes pizza and orders himself a pizza and eats that pizza, everybody in that group rubs their tummy and goes, yummy, that was delicious. Right? According to the atheist nihilist model, right? I'll just give up. My fucking motorhome. I mean, this is what they wanted. They wanted me to know my place. They wanted me to know my station in life. And no matter what I did to try to become better, there was always somebody there ready to just fucking hit that red button and fucking nuke the shit out of any possibility, you know? Make sure every door was slammed in my face. Make sure that, you know, every goalpost that I was within millimeters of reaching was moved. Rules changed retroactively. Oh, but it's all perfectly logical and reasonable, according to the atheist nihilist. And they'll say whatever they can to have some power over someone else's life. Now, I mean, I could make the argument that, well, you know, you said anybody can be a Christ. Isn't that a noble idea? That people can be better than they are? Well, see, the atheists and some Christians had to destroy that, because if you can become a Christ, why the fuck do you need salvation? Why the fuck do you need redemption? But also it means that you're not operating on instinct. Instinct doesn't fucking matter, right? Because if you're a nihilistic atheist, you want everything to be instinct and, you know, no consequences for your actions, because you're just a dumb animal or a force of nature, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, if some rain cloud rains on you, you can't punish the rain cloud. There's no consciousness there, which, you know, leads you to understand that, well, the atheist nihilist, they don't want to be conscious. They hate consciousness. So anybody who shows the least amount of consciousness is automatically an enemy. Because if you have, you know, consciousness, see, fundamentalist theists want you to have some consciousness, but only enough consciousness that you can drop to your knees and worship, you know, something that's bigger than you. The atheist nihilist wants no consciousness ever, so that they can avoid any consequences whatsoever. Well, of course I'm talking incoherently. I'm a dumbass. I'm a bum. I'm a crazy person. I'm evil. I'm horrible. I'm a horrible, horrible person. But magically at the same time, there's no such thing, according to the atheistic nihilists that populate my fucking internet environment. You know, there is no such thing as evil or etc. But yet at the same time, I'm magically evil. It's a contradiction. I can be two different things at once as long as I'm the negative of each. You know, I just, you know, I'm one of those Von Helton type people. I'm fucking Camper Van Elvis, Von Helton, Network 26. I'm every horrible person on the planet, and you know, who the fuck am I, especially at age fucking 40, to fucking think that I'm well, you know, I mean, that's another point. You know, somebody sitting there saying I'm schizophrenic. Well, I've been to so many counselors and psychologists in my life to try to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me, because I was taught to hate myself. And I guess that's the right attitude I'm supposed to have towards myself, because the minute that I feel happy about anything, the minute that I feel good about anything, man, those nihilistic atheists have to fucking come down on me like a ton of bricks. You know, they're so worried about justice and ethics when it's an opportunity to hurt me. But, you know goddamn well, if they had a choice to do something like, I don't know, steal a house, they'd feel no remorse. They'd feel no fucking remorse. You are not an EMT. Random stuff. You are not an EMT. And I am not schizophrenic. I don't fucking hear voices. Well, or do I? Because, you know, I'm going to say I don't hear voices. And every psychologist and counselor that I've ever gone to says, no, you don't have schizophrenia. But, you know, anonymous YouTube atheists and nihilists, you know, they've openly said that I'm a schizophrenic, a bum, a racist, a sexist. So many words to label me. Every horrible thing. Because, you know, we have all these armchair, you know, you know, if you're hiding behind a username on the internet, you can claim to be anything and everything, which is what they try to do because they want that unearned credibility. They want that unearned credibility. You know, so they're too cowardly to just come out and say that they're nihilistic atheists. Because, you know, we don't live in a world yet where nihilistic atheists are, you know, celebrated, obviously. So, yeah, you know, the communists are not celebrated, the socialists are not celebrated, authoritarians are not celebrated. All these people should be celebrated, right? The fact that you don't think life has any meaning or that there is no God, all that shit that you people put out should be celebrated, right? Your little communist, socialist utopia where everybody bows down to whoever has the most power. That's what you guys want. It's like, okay, that's the choice you've made. The choice you've made. It's the choice you've made. But of course, you're not responsible for your actions, are you? No, of course not. No consequences for you guys. Do anything and everything to hurt somebody, destroy somebody's life, and are there any consequences for you guys? Fuck no. Of course not. Of course not. The taxpayers, government assistance, and I'll just sit there and rot away. Because that's my station in life, right? Right, guys? And I have to wonder how many people watching this are too fucking stupid to realize that I'm clowning them. I gotta really kind of wonder about that. How many people are too stupid to realize that I'm clowning them? I'm still giving up. I'm still just like, okay, whatever. But at this point, it doesn't fucking matter. Because there's just no point in me trying because, you know, I mean, between my absolutely, utterly destroyed reputation online and the fact that I'm a felon, I mean, there's no job. That in the minds of most people, that comes before anything else. So I'm not even gonna have I'm not even gonna have the ability. I'm not even gonna have the ability to become anything better. Yeah, no amount of empathy that can reach him. He needs blunt and memorable advice. Oh yes. So basically, what you're doing is you're excusing your right to do whatever you feel like doing to me, cause me as much suffering as possible, even though I'm fully capable of having a coherent conversation. But you don't want that, do you? Yes, this is another thing. You guys sit there and you say, you said you hate work. Look at the context. See, this is another aspect of it. I have so many fucking literalists. Why do I have a bunch of literalist atheists watching my fucking channel. Why is that? It just does not make any fucking sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me. It's like if somebody had like a barbecue channel where they talked about, how to make barbecue and how to like cook different kinds of meats and, the different marinades and the different methods and blah, blah, blah. And it was like they just, their whole channel was nothing but barbecue. And they had like, fucking 5 or 6 committed militant vegetarians doing everything they could to annoy them, to like tear down their channel and to ridicule and then hate on them. And it's like the person with the barbecue channel would be like, you're a vegetarian, why are you even here? Why are you fucking even here? Why are you here? What's the point? What's the point of you being here? And it's just because they want someone to hate. They like hating on people. They love that hatred. They need that hatred. They're so filled with hatred and wickedness that they want to irritate somebody else's life. It's just absolute freaking nonsense. I've got way too many fucking, yeah. But don't worry, guys. You're right. I'm wrong. Everybody else is right. I'm wrong. I'm just absolutely fucking wrong. And every one of my haters is right. And that's just magically how it is. And I wish you guys, why don't you just, go ahead, voice your opinion. Voice your opinion. Tell me what I should do, tell me who I should be. And I'll just live for all of you, right? I'll just live for everybody else. Right? Because I'm not even a human being. I'm just whatever you fuckers want me to be, right? But yeah, I'll just give up. Maybe I'll even give up on YouTube because, it's like I'm sure as hell not getting any channel. I'm not getting anything out of this, really. I'm not getting subscribers, I'm not getting viewers, I'm not getting comments that have any kind of relevance. So it's like, why bother? And that's what it was at the beginning. Nihilistic atheists telling me, you get the fuck off YouTube, you fucking retard. And I was dumb enough to sit there and think, well, wait a minute, it's a public platform. I have the right to have a YouTube channel. You're not obligated to watch my channel. I actually thought that I could actually help make the world a better place. Like I had something worth saying, like I had an opinion or a perception that was worth listening to, and I was wrong. I'm just absolutely wrong. There's nothing that I can say, nothing that I can do that's gonna be useful or worth hearing. It's just not. So yeah. Well, I guess I'm just gonna crack open a beer and watch some more TV, and that's gonna be my life. It's gonna be my life. Now if I can figure out how to end the live stream.